If you're looking to create viral videos on platforms like YouTube, TikTok, or Facebook, but don't know how to edit your clips, then in today's video, I'm going to walk you through step-by-step how to use your phone or computer with the CapCut app to cut and edit your videos easily. In this video, I'll show you how to add effects, including black and white filters and dynamic transitions. More importantly, I'll guide you on editing audio for the best sound. I'll also show you how to use keyframes to resize clips and create smooth zoom animations. And I'll also show you how to edit your video to achieve the highest quality result possible just the way you want it. You'll learn how to add effects, transitions, and even how to use your full asset library. Most importantly, I'll show you how to work with sound like this to take your video to the next level. On top of that, you'll also learn how to create auto-scrolling text on screen, just like what you're seeing here. These captions move automatically, and I'll show you exactly how to do it. I'll also guide you on how to adjust your video layout to fit perfectly within the frame and how to upload your final videos to platforms like TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. This video is a complete free CapCut course for PC. So if you want to level up your skills, grow your YouTube channel, and learn a full step-by-step method all within this single video, I've got you covered. Whether you're using a phone or a computer, you can start learning today. Let's go. First, we're going to search for the keyword CapCut download for PC. Then we'll find the official app, download it, and install it on our computer. Once it's installed, we'll open the app and start editing our videos based on exactly what we want to create. Let's open this video editing app to get started. This is the main interface we'll be working with. On the left, you'll see your account information. Below that is your storage section. These are the built-in AI tools, and on the right, you'll find your current projects. This is the main workspace where everything comes together. To access the most features and tools, it's best to switch the app to English for a more advanced experience. Now in this area, you'll see the current software version. If an update is available, you can click here to check for updates. If there's a new version, the system will prompt you to install it. Make sure to update to the latest version so you get all the newest features and tools available in this section. Click the install button here. When installing, don't use the app right away. Always update to the latest version first. This section also lets you manage your workspace by splitting it into areas or creating storage spaces. Here you can delete or create workspaces as needed. If you don't use some, feel free to remove them or leave them as default. Those are the basic settings. In this section, you'll find a wide range of AI tools to explore. You have tools for extending short videos into longer ones, converting text to voiceovers, lip syncing, creating fashion-style images, and full video editing with detailed cutting and merging. Plus, there's a handy screen recording feature. Just click here to set it up and start recording immediately. Super convenient. Instead of multiple installs, this section lets you record videos directly. Now let's jump to today's main topic using CapCut on your computer. Click the Create New Project button right here. Once you click the Create New Project button, this is the main interface of CapCut's video editing tool on PC. Let me give you a quick overview. In this section, you'll find the basic tools. You can create a new file or import your media assets. Next, we have the audio section. Now this section contains all the audio-related tools, and right here is the text section. I'll walk you through each of these features in the next part. Over here, you'll find all the effects from icons to dynamic visual effects, all built right into the app. That means you don't have to download anything from the internet, making your workflow faster and more efficient. Next, we have the effects section. This gives you access to a wide variety of stunning and viral video effects you can use right away. Then right here is the transition button. It helps you add smooth and stylish transitions between clips. And in this area, there's also a filter tab. You can completely change the style and color tone of your video using the filters. And in this area, you can adjust a wide range of settings to fine-tune your look. There's even an option to integrate apps that let you turn your own face into an avatar. Now let's dive into the details so you can understand each section and feature one by one. First, to cut and edit a video, go back to the main screen. In the media section, click the Import Video button to add your footage. Then drag your clip into the white area to start editing. You can also click and hold here to scroll the timeline left or right. You can scroll up or down in this section and freely adjust the layout to your liking. Right here is where you import your media files. I've got a sample video ready on a random topic, so let's bring it in. First, you'll notice a plus icon in this area. Click on the plus icon and your video will be added to the timeline below. Super easy. In this case, the video includes both visuals and audio. To make editing smoother, it's best to separate the audio track. Just right-click on the video and you'll see an option called Extract Audio. Select that to split the audio from the video. Now your video and audio are split into two layers, like this, super easy to work with. To zoom in for precise editing, use the slider here to adjust the timeline zoom, just drag to zoom in or out. And in this area, you can also increase the track height to make the audio waveform more visible, which helps with precise editing. You can also move tracks up or down to rearrange them. These are the key steps to know before diving deeper into editing. Now in this area, you can zoom in and out of the timeline. This lets you adjust your view to make editing and navigation much easier. For example, zooming in like this gives you more precision. So how do we cut the video? Simple, just move the playhead to the exact point where you want to make the cut. For example, if you want to cut from the beginning up to this point, you simply place the playhead at both positions. You want to split, then click the split button. This will divide your clip into two parts, left and right. If you want to remove the left section, there's a delete left button right here that lets you cut it out instantly. Just click this button and it will instantly cut out that section. Then you can drag the audio back to line it up neatly. Simple and effective. Now, if you want to group these two elements, the video and audio, into one fixed clip, just right-click and select the option to group them. That way they'll move together as a single unit. Exactly grouping them into a single fixed clip makes editing much more convenient. Now let's move on to the first stage of cutting and trimming. You'll notice 3 dots in this area. Click on them and you'll be able to increase the track height here. This makes everything easier to see and work with. In this section, when you want to trim or split your video, there are 3 main cutting options. Split divides the clip, delete left removes everything left of the playhead, and delete right removes everything right of the playhead. These tools make editing fast and precise. It will automatically cut and delete the selected part for you, which is a key feature to know. To manually delete a section, use the convenient delete button here. If you need to undo an action, just go to this area to step back. We will see an icon that allows us to go forward or go backward. This is very convenient for us. Now we will move on to the next tool. For example, let's take a look at this video clip. In this video, the doctor is positioned on the left side. If we want to flip it, then right here, we will see an icon called flip, which allows us to reverse the image. In this area, you'll see a flip icon. When you hover over it, you'll notice a second mode appears. Once you click it, everything in the frame will be mirrored, so instead of showing from left to right, it will now display from right to left. This kind of flipping is very useful when editing and combining clips. Let's take a look. As you can see, the video has been flipped. It might not be immediately obvious in some scenes, but with certain angles or perspectives, the change becomes much more noticeable. Here, I'll add more raw video clips, so it's easier for us to see and understand the process. We'll bring in a few different types of footage like this to make everything clearer. For example, if I want to use just this part of the clip, I'll split it, then use the delete left and delete right options to trim around the exact section I need. Now in this section, if you want to flip or rotate your video, there's a rotate tool available. You can rotate the clip 90 degrees, then continue to 180, 360, or rotate it to various angles depending on your needs, all within this area. That's right, you'll find various flip and reverse options here, such as reverse playback, mirror flip, and more. It's super convenient, and you can choose the right mode depending on what you want to achieve. So that wraps up the first key feature we've just learned, basic cutting and editing. In this section, let's move on to the aspect ratio. If you're designing a video for TikTok or YouTube, you'll want to set the proper frame size. For YouTube, the recommended ratio is 16:9. Just click here to apply it. And if you want to create content for TikTok, just click this option. When you select TikTok, you'll see related social media presets appear, including TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. Click on the platform you want, and the system will show safe zones on the screen. These safe areas help you know where not to place key content so it doesn't get cut off. You can zoom in here to see the layout more clearly. The content featuring the doctor should be placed right in the center like this. That means we shouldn't place it near the edges to avoid losing any part of the visual content. This area here is the frame. Make sure to keep everything within the correct frame, and the aspect ratio is already provided at the top, which makes it very convenient. If we want to view it in a larger size, we can zoom in like this. As you can see, the scene where the doctor is standing still looks great and fits perfectly within the frame. This area here is where we adjust the frame. We can choose the framing that best fits each specific scene. Now let's move on to the next part, which is audio processing. Now, to better understand audio, I'll start by splitting this file into 2 tracks. I'll move to this section and extract the audio from the video. So how do we make sure the audio isn't noisy, especially when recording voiceovers or making a video where you're speaking directly? If your audio is noisy, head over to this section where you'll find an option called Noise Reduction. Look for the noise reduction icon and click on it. Once selected, the system will automatically process and clean up your audio. If there's wind or background noise, this tool will handle it quickly and efficiently, making your voice much clearer. For example, if you have a music track and want it to gradually fade out, just go to this section and adjust the fade out setting. If you want the sound to gradually increase at the beginning, use the fade in option. In this area, you'll clearly see the waveform rise or fall. It's very visual and easy to control. You can also fix cases where the audio sounds distorted or hard to hear right in this section. If you want to transform the voice into a different speaking style, move over to the second tab, Voice Effects. Here you can choose from a variety of voice presets and try them out. There are plenty of options to explore in this audio section, and you can preview each one to find the best fit. It's perfect for creating a certain mood like a dream, a memory, or a deep ambition. These effects help shape the voice to match that emotion. You'll find options like echo reverb or distant voice effects and so on. All right, this is the audio section. Audio includes adjusting the volume level. Right here, you can drag the slider to adjust the volume up or down as needed. You can also revisit the basic settings in this section. There's a dedicated volume control that lets you increase or decrease the sound freely. Just pay attention to the audio waveforms at both ends. You'll clearly see the changes. It's a really useful and intuitive feature. All right, that wraps up the first section I wanted to share with you. Now let's move on to the next powerful features of this app. Up next, how to add effects. For example, let's say I have 2 clips and I want to add a transition between them. First, I'll split the video right at the point where I want the transition to happen. In this case, I'll split it into 2 layers like this. Now with those 2 clips, if you want to add a transition effect between them, you'll find plenty of options right here. In this section, look for the tab labeled Transition. Go to this section, and if you want to choose a specific transition, head to this area. You can zoom in or out here to adjust the timeline view. Then preview the transition to see how it looks. For audio, if you want to return to the original voice, go back to the voice settings and select the default voice at the top. Now let's go back to this section and listen to the result. If there are 2 voice effects you don't want to apply, you can simply return here and switch back to the default voice. Just select the original voice again to reset it. As for transitions, here's the one we just added. If you're not happy with how it looks, you can easily replace it with another transition from the list. This section offers many transition effects. Just drag one in to replace the current one. If you have multiple video clips and want to apply the same transition to all, simply split the video into parts and select the transition you want to use. Here, there will be a button labeled Apply to All. Remember, you need to select the effect first. Then you will see the Apply to All button. When you click it all, the segments will be changed to use the same effect. This makes it very convenient for us. This is the Effects section. It includes motion effects and many other styles that you can drag into specific areas to try out. Test different effects to see which one you like best, then update and use it in your video. Now let's move on to fine-tuning and additional enhancements. Here you'll find a section called Video Effects. If you want to add an effect to your video, simply drag it in. There are tons of different styles to choose from, and this section is packed with options for you to explore. You can find effects like star glows, human silhouettes, cartoon styles, and many more. There's a huge variety here. You can also stretch the panel in this area to get a better view of all the available options. Since it's hard to remember everything, the best approach is to preview each effect directly and see which one fits your content. If you find one that you use often or really like, you can save it. There's a Save to Favorites icon right here. Clicking, it will add the effect to a dedicated favorites section, making it easy to access your go-to tools anytime. There's a section here called Favorite. This is where all the effects you frequently use will be stored in one place. So next time you need them, you won't have to search again. It saves a lot of time. These kinds of effects are honestly really awesome and super handy to work with. And that's how you add visual effects, transitions, audio adjustments, and cut and edit your video. Now that you're familiar with these advanced features, let's move on to the next part, adding captions. How do you add text? At this point, you'll see a text section at the top marked with a T icon. Hover your mouse over this area, and you'll find an option for Auto Caption Text Effects, perfect for generating dynamic on-screen captions automatically. Next, choose the language. There are plenty of language options available here, so just pick the one that fits your video. In this case, I'll select English for the voice or text. If you'd like to translate it into another language, you can also enable dual subtitles right here to display both languages at the same time. Now, let's start by selecting English. I'll click the Create button. Once it's done, the system will automatically generate text lines on the screen, and they look great. However, the default position might be a bit hard to see, so we'll move the text higher on the screen. If you want to change the style to something more visually appealing, head over to the Text tab right here. First, you need to select a text style. Move over to this section and you'll see a wide range of templates. Choose the text animation style you like best from this area. Now let's preview it. And there you go. You'll see the audio transitions and everything working together smoothly. It's similar to creating videos with lyrics or text that follows the audio. This is how we make those choices. Now we've learned how to customize and add text in our own style. In this area, if you want to adjust the text, you can stretch the section. If you need to change the text color, you can choose from the options here. There are tons of text styles available, so depending on your needs, you can create beautiful effects that are ready to use instantly. Plus, there's an additional effects section specifically for text. You can add these to enhance your captions or titles. It really brings your text to life. If you're not happy with a particular effect, you can always come back here and change it. Just like with other effects, if you find one you really like, you can save it to your favorites for quick access later. So now with just a simple click, you can apply effects instantly. At this point, you've already learned the basics of how to use text and effects efficiently. Alright, so we've completed this section. If you're ready to export your video, you can turn off the preview by setting this option to none, since it's only for preview purposes. Now you've learned how to edit text. And if you want to add more text manually, just click the Add Text button right here. This lets you add a brand new text box and customize it however you like. You can type in anything. For example, I'll enter the keyword ABC channel. Once the text is added, you can drag it to any position on the screen. You can also edit the text, apply effects, and fine-tune the animation or appearance to match your style. It works very much like editing text in PowerPoint, Word, or Excel, super simple and user-friendly. In this section, you can adjust various text settings, including the font. There's a wide selection available here, giving you plenty of options to choose from. This is how many people typically work with text. Now I'll show you one more feature, how to add external apps or icons. There's a section called Sticker right here. If you want to find a specific sticker, you'll find a full collection available in this area. You can type keywords into the search bar here. There are tons of icons available. For example, if you want to add an arrow icon, just search for arrow and insert it into your project. Whatever you need, chances are you'll find it right here. Just use the search box to find exactly what you want. For example, if you want to add a subscribe button or a channel subscription icon, just search for it in this section. Once you find the one you like, simply drag it to your desired spot on the screen. When you place it there, the system lets you arrange and adjust its position as needed. You can arrange it anywhere you want on the screen completely to your liking. Let's take a look. It's really great that these elements are readily available. If you want to add motion effects, you can zoom in here. When you select the element, you'll see an icon on the right side that lets you pin it in place. Here, we'll pin this icon in place. Then move over to this area, which is called the keyframe section. Click here and then zoom into this part of the timeline. This means the effect will gradually play and zoom in smoothly. Let's preview this button. You'll see it animates, slowly increasing its movement like this. Motion effects can gradually increase or decrease, like zooming in and zooming out. Now let's move on to finding audio. In this section, under audio, you'll find a wide variety of sounds available. There are two types. If you're creating for TikTok, you can use these background music tracks specifically curated for that platform. If you're making content for YouTube, avoid copyrighted music and use sounds from the built-in library. For example, if I want to find a bell sound, I'll search for bell in English and I'll get plenty of results. Let's try searching for a bell sound here and listen to a preview. Drag it onto the timeline to add it to your video. Now let's review it. I'll mute the original file and listen to the new audio. Sounds great, right? If you want to find sounds like footsteps or clapping, just type those keywords into the search bar. There are plenty of options. Try searching in English for the best results. You can use these sound effects to really enhance your video. It's pretty awesome. This section has a full library of sounds for you to choose from. You can drag any sound into the editing area and adjust its volume by dragging the slider up or down. So now you know how to add audio and effects pretty awesome. Additionally, you can also apply filters. Here, I want the final part of the video to have a different filter applied. At the end of the timeline, you'll find the filter section where you can change the video's filter. There are many options, and once applied, the look of your footage changes instantly. For a darker mood, choose a dark-themed filter to set the tone. For example, if I want to turn this scene into black and white, I can apply the effect instantly. This section is the only place where you can easily handle that kind of adjustment. So by now you've created a complete video, including text, audio, editing, voice processing, plus adding effects, captions, and all the essential elements you need. With these basic steps, you now know the simplest way to create high-quality audio and great videos easily using the CapCut app. Once everything is finalized, if you want to export your video, you'll find an Export Video button right here. In this section, you'll name the folder where your video will be saved. For example, you can enter any video name you want, then choose the storage location and select the video quality. If you want a high-quality video, it's best to choose between 4K and 8K. You can also leave it at the default setting if that works for you. If you want to export for YouTube Shorts or TikTok, the 9:16 aspect ratio is perfect. When exporting, remember to disable any unnecessary options, then click the Publish button. After exporting, the system will generate your video very quickly. And if you've learned something useful or discovered a new style of making videos on CapCut, don't forget to leave positive comments to encourage me to keep creating more content. Also, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel to stay updated with all the latest tech knowledge. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much.